Hey, Teacher Christmas here. We're going to work on the last little bit of our plug-in. Now, the prongs aren't on this one yet. I'm still working on getting those attached. I'll show you those later when I do that. I just got done drilling the holes for our cord in the top of our trash can plug. So you're just cutting out a little bit of this using a hole saw. I found a hole saw that I had that was as close as I could where it would fit in those, around those foams. Looks like it's 1.75 inches. So what we're going to do next is we're going to put a couple of holes here to hold the zip ties that'll keep our cord in our plug-in. So I'm just using the same small drill that I used for the cord earlier, kind of just lining that up. And again, we kind of want to make this stuff small so that it doesn't detract from what we're doing. So I've got a couple of pieces there, and then I'm going to just put a zip tie in and around that's going to feed in and hold my cord down. So I've got one end there, and then I'm going to put my cord in, loop this over the top zip tie, put it back through this hole, and then connect it to the head of the zip tie. So this should go fairly quick. Oh, my zip tie fell out. So I can put that in there, so a nice snug fit. That zip tie comes through, holding on to the other end. This is going to get a little tricky. Found that tail. And I'll bring it in and put it on the end of that. So there's our zip tie extension, or our foam extension cord. It's going to hook to our first light, so it's going to be like that. And then I'm going to turn this next light that we hook up over, and then we'll zip tie it in, and then this will feed into the bottom of this light. So it's going to really look like it's a plug. Right now we're going to just kind of lay it on its side because I think it's going to fit better in there. And we'll finish the prongs later on tonight. I'll finish those prongs, and then we'll screw them on there sometime tomorrow. But there you go. There's our first length of cord. We'll get all this stuff set up, and then we'll see how it goes as far as connecting them. So let's get that set up. I've got some garden stakes that I grabbed from Home Depot, and I'm going to use those to hold up my light sockets so that they don't blow away. We do get fairly windy here. We'll get between 30 and 40 mile an hour gusts. So making sure that all of this stuff is secured is really kind of important where I'm at. So I'm going to just put this here. We're going to kind of just dead end it in that one. We'll put a stake here. We'll zip tie that all up. Remember, when you're driving stakes, be aware of where your sprinkler system is. In my yard, I've got a bunch of roots and a bunch of rocks. My sprinkler system actually runs behind me, so I'm not as much concerned about that. I think I'm going to go ahead and tape this to this cord. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to, or I'm going to zip tie the cord. It doesn't necessarily have to go underneath where it's at. In fact, it might be a little difficult to do that. I just want to make sure that it doesn't move around. So there'll be several spots that you'll see me just come in and run in a zip tie. Again, like I said, my display, when it gets up and running, is generally completely held together with zip ties. So this should technically, if we're doing a Christmas light, this would be 90 degrees to this, but we're not going to worry about that as much on this display, because we would just prefer that it stood upright and not whether or not it is 100% accurate for a string of lights. We'll go back through and remove the zip ties. Now, I know some of you may be cringing, like, oh my gosh, I can see the zip ties. Most people will not notice those at night. They will just pretty much disappear. They'll kind of go to blind those and won't realize they're there. And really, we just need them to hold our display together. because of the weather that we have here. Okay, there's that one. And I'm going to go ahead and get my next light set up. My cords will all run to the back because they'll be receiving individual power as we go. And I've got them roughly laid out here, kind of how I think I should have them. We're going to go in and we're going to hook this one actually to this cord down here. Again, I'm just going to use zip ties to get all these things connected. Bring that in here nice and tight. Up into here, into the bottom where the cord runs. That tight there. Now I can start pulling these tails and arranging that so that looks like that connects there. And this will run out. I may have to put some stakes in there to kind of hold them where they go. Now we're going to put a little bit of movement in our lights. We're going to kind of see if we can get this one to lay around like this. We're going to put a stake back here. So I think we're going to hook this one like this, and then we'll curl it on the next one. Well, maybe we'll put it like this. We'll put it like that. No, it's going to require more stakes. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to bug me or not. That's the thing. Should we be orderly, or should we be kind of messy, or how should we put it? Maybe like that. Maybe we'll put this one upright, and then this one over here, the next one, we'll do a curly Q on that one. Hate to have someone come in the middle of the night and try to help me out by straightening the bulbs when their intent will be to make them kind of crazy lights. Okay, get the stakes out of the way. Cord. I think we'll put that like that. I think that will work good. Catch that with a couple of zip ties. Get that held down. That one's going to go right in like that. Oh, there we go. That's a better green forward. What do you think? Let's move you down. I think this one's going to stand just like this. So we'll put a stake back here. We'll zip tie this up to that. So that's where that one's going to go, just like that. Make sure it's clear of the cord. Okay, that. Cord at the back. I think we're going to angle him a little bit more so he's more visible. It is going to take 2 zip ties on most of those to keep them in place. Okay, like that. That one forward, just like that. Zip tie that one back there. Bet you didn't know how much crazy Christmas light displays are actually held together with zip ties. It is a lot. Because if you're like me, my Christmas display is different every single year. I don't use the same, I use the same decorations in different orders and different themes. Sometimes I change my music, sometimes I don't. But because everything is custom, it means I don't put a lot of things together permanent. I put a lot of things together temporarily, which means I use a lot of zip ties, which can be put together and removed fairly quickly. Now, probably sometime mid-season I'll need to go through and move my decorations a few inches, because if I don't, I'm going to have dead spots in my grass. Which nobody likes dead spots in their grass. Definitely here, because I'm getting a lot of grass in my zip ties. Okay, there's that one. I think this next one we're gonna turn this one upside down. I've got another stake here, so we're gonna come out from that and try to catch this back side. It's probably gonna be right about here. It's gonna be kind of interesting. Better zip tie that down there first so that we can get the right movement out of our cord. So otherwise it's not going to look right. I'm going to come in and I'm going to reinforce this down here because we're going to put a lot of stress and strain on that. And I want it to look right through the entire Christmas display season. Yep, gonna need to do a double here. All right, running out of my big zip ties. I'll have to get more of those in a few minutes. So we'll see how many we've got. Make this last. So we put the clip to the back because that's what we're trying to hide. So we got to put one around. One around this way. It's going to take 2 that way. two the other way. All right. I suppose I could have used one, but we got two. That'll work. Stick this on here. It's on tight. It's on tight. Okay. Again, we are going to fix these with more zip ties. And we're going to try to come in here. How are we going to make that work? It's going to have to be like that. Yep, like that. Well, anyway, I think I'm going to cut it off here. This video is going to get pretty long. I'll connect the rest of the Christmas lights up, and I'll give you a chance to see those when I'm finished and when they're all powered up. So I've got to go through yet and get everything arranged, all the power cords run, everything else kind of secured so that it's not going to move around more on me. But anyway, this is the giant jumbo Christmas light build from Home Depot. Hopefully we'll light these tonight and you'll get to see how they look, and I'll see what else I need to do to make them stronger for the weather here in North Idaho. Anyway, I hope you're learning something. Ag Teacher Christmas out.